What's one thing you would change about the black community?
If I could change the black community, I'd say we need to learn how to move like the Mexicans. You feel what I'm saying? We learn how to move like the Mexicans. We'll be a real mob. We'll be a real mafia, a real family. You feel what I'm saying? And like really figure out. I can't say too much. Like come in a unity. You feel what I'm saying? Like black people, we got to learn how to unite. Be in tune. You feel me? Move on one accord. We'll be smooth. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and native indigenous of the America, and the speckled bird that are amongst those other nations that look like those from those other nations, but the lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Okay, let's get started here. As you saw the video, don't have the title yet. Debating on different names right now, but as you saw the young Jake there, talking about how he wants to be, how the black man should move like the Mexicans. Okay, so let's get started here. Let's go here to Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Okay? Our people. And who are those people? Those people are you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and native indigenous of the America. Okay? From the tribe of Judah all the way down to the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. Okay? So as you heard the brother, I feel like genuinely, he was genuinely, trying to, show love or see something in that community that he respects, and I could see he was genuine. This is no bash on him, okay, and no bash on the brothers, the so-called Mexicans, but you do not, I repeat, you do not want to move like the so-called Mexicans. You do not want to move like the so-called black Mexicans or native indigenous of the America or any other racial group out there in the world. And the reason I say that is because, first of all, if you hearken into those bywords, you're already messed up. Okay? So this is a perspective of a young Jake, giving his perspective of what he sees from the carnal perspective, right? From the carnal world. Okay? All he sees is the unity. And that's a decent thing, right? You have a little unity within your family, right? But it goes further than that. It's more than just having a little unity of family, okay? That is not going to give you salvation. Because ultimately, the so-called Hispanic Latino man is going to be destroyed along with every other heathen nation if they don't hearken into this 100% true gospel, okay? Now, it might seem that's a good thing they got going on, right? But look at the so-called Latin tribes right now. Okay, look how the so-called family unity he was, admiring, which it is, by the way. I'm not saying it's not. It is a good thing, but it's not good enough. Okay, having family unity is not going to give you salvation. Okay, they're going to receive a horrible judgment along with the rest of the wicked heathens, right? And I'm saying this out of love because I do love my black, Hispanics, and native indigenous brothers. Okay, this is the reason why a lot of the brothers come out and bring this truth. Okay, and risk their lives and put in work every day to bring this 100% true gospel. Okay, you want to be like Yahweh Shai, first and foremost. Okay, You want to be like Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, right? He was the standard that came on earth for us to try to mimic. Now, we're not going to be like him. It's going to be very hard, especially since we're under captivity, okay? And as far as the so-called Mexicans, right? Because we know they're really from the tribe of Issachar, okay? The so-called Hispanic tribes or Latin tribes, whatever byword you know them as, okay? Look at them right now. Their families are getting destroyed, ripped apart by the Vanilla Ice agents, okay? So you do not want to be like that. And that is judgment of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And this has been going on even in the past. And we're going to prove it real quick, okay? Let's go here to Deuteronomy. Give me 1 second here. Deuteronomy 28 and 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And who is physically getting removed along the 4 winds of the world right now in this modern time? You know who it is. It's the so-called Mexicans, okay? The so-called Hispanics, Latinos from Central all the way down to South America and some of the Caribbeans as well, okay? And they're even throwing in Judah now all of a sudden, okay? These are curses that were placed on our nation, on our people for being disobedient and not being able to discern the true fruits of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right? It goes further beyond families. Yes, God loves that you have a family, but if your priority ain't Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, he could care less. Okay? He's going to destroy 2/3 of our people for any sort of idolatry. Okay? Any sort of idolatry. And you know that Jake in the spirit, obviously he's an Israelite. Off the rip, you can hear it in the spirit. Okay? Because out of all the nations he chose, all the tribes, he still went with the Israelite nation, okay? And they're not even the ones reigning supreme, right? Because he sees something special, and he might even be a northern kingdom. Who knows? That's just the spirit talking to me, and what I felt in the intuition, the spiritual discernment I had, that brother might even be northern kingdom. But the point I'm trying to make is, you don't want to be like none of these so-called bywords, okay? You want to be like Yahweh Shai first and foremost, and you want to be hopefully a hopeful elect, okay? Because those are the ones who are going to be the governing body of the nation of Yasharallah, okay? Of the nation of Israelites that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai has chose before the foundations of the earth. Okay, that's who you want to move like. Okay, again, this ain't a downing my brothers. Okay, because there's 2/3 of the nation of so-called Hispanics that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai wants nothing to do with. He's going to completely annihilate them along with the 2/3 of the southern kingdom of Judah and the rest of these damn heathens. Okay. Let's go over here to this is what I wanted to bring up real quick. In the book of the bywords, 28 and 37. Salakia for that. Okay, so off the rip, if you're calling on those names, those are nothing but spells that were placed on us, right? The so-called Mexicans, so-called black man, so-called Latino, Hispanic, all these are bywords that were placed on us, right? Let's go there real quick. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, right? Those are words and terms that they use, to classify us, to divide us, to ridicule us, right? and bywords among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Okay, that was also another curse, right? Okay, you do not want to hearken into those names. Okay, and if you do on everyday life, of course, because we're still under captivity, that's the names that were placed on us, right? We didn't have a choice into saying, yeah, I would like to be called that. No, because before that, centuries ago, you was an Israelite, okay, before these curses came upon our nation. Okay, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. All right. So again, bringing up the subject of that family stuff, yes, family is okay, but ultimately, that's not what's going to bring you salvation. Okay. If anything, that's going to be a snare for a huge amount of our people, because the great test is near. Okay. And a lot of people are going to fail because they want to idolize the things of the world. And we're in no position, being under these curses, to idolize anything but Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai in order to receive salvation. Okay? And we're going to prove it real quick. How the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is against the idolatry of the family. Okay? And we're going to prove it. It's not saying hate your family. It's saying don't idolize your family more than Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. You cannot make your family priority over Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And we're going to prove it here. Okay, let's go to Matthew 10 and 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Okay, there you have it. Straight and simple, straight to the point. Right? So, just like that young Jake right there, admiring the unity of the so-called Hispanic families. Okay, even though it does look good a little bit, but that's not going to be enough. Okay, so what good is it to have the unity of a family if you're going to be melted away by these ICBM missiles that are coming here to Babylon the Great, which this is spiritual Babylon. In case you didn't know, America is spiritual Babylon, right? And you are still under the curses. All the Hispanic Latin tribes are still under the curses. Last time I checked, and if you look at the news, left and right, how many families are being ripped apart, okay? They're being ripped apart by these Edomites, right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai placed the spirit in these wicked heathens and using them as a tool to destroy the northern kingdom right now, okay? For our disobedience and the idolatry of our own selves, okay? We just got done reading, he that loveth the father or the mother, okay? Even your grandmama, okay? And this is 100% true gospel right here, okay? And you can't deny it, okay? That family idolatry or that money idolatry or the coming up in this world, being successful, that's all forms of idolatry, okay? And this is why we're in the situation we're in, okay? There's only one unity that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai wants us to be unified for, is to do his will. Okay, the unity of the nation of Yasharallah that are coming back together, okay, as a nation, to have number one priority over every family or things of the world is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. That is our spiritual foundation. Without that, we are nothing. We are nothing. And to this day, can't you see the evidence of that? Okay? You do not want to be like none of these bywords, man. You do not want to be like that. Okay? That's not going to get you nowhere. It might give you little temporary moments of a little feeling good spirit, but ultimately the heathens are still over us. They're going to destroy any type of little happiness we have. Okay? Let's go here real quick. The elect unity is what you want to seek for. And we're going to go right here. Let's go to John 17 and 11. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to thee, Holy Father. Keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. Okay? So that's the real unity you need to be searching for, man. Just like Yahweh, Bahashem, and Yahweh Shah, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, the unity, that's the one that you want to be with. And that's what Yahweh's will ultimately is. And that is what the real men of the Lord, are seeking for. To be one with the nation together, the nation of Yasharallah with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because ultimately we know, and history and records show that anytime we try to come collectively together, it's never worked. Okay, so I'm gonna go here to this last one here. We're gonna end it with this one, Ezekiel 37 and 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Yasharallah, his companions. Okay, this is the unity and the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And he's doing it right before our eyes, right? This is a testimony to the world and ourselves. What the Spirit has been doing, bringing the unity back, right? Of the hopeful elect, okay? For Judah and for the children of Israel and his companions, right? And if you go into that word stick, this is describing the plank that you see the Hebrew Israelites have, the sheet of the 12 tribe chart. Okay, this is the 12 tribes of Yasharallah. This is the unity that you need to be seeking, brother. Okay, then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim. Ephraim is also referred to as the northern kingdom when used in the same sentence as the tribe of Judah, right? Judah being the southern region and Ephraim being the northern kingdom region. Okay, Ephraim is a tribe of his own, but also used as describing the whole region of the northern kingdom side. Okay, collectively making 12 tribes of Yasharallah. Okay, and let's finish off with Ezekiel 37 and 17. And join them one to another into one stick, right? And that one stick is the nation of Yasharallah. And they shall become one in thy hand. You see, collectively being united in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, not of things of the world. Okay? So, again, this is the unity that all the brothers, all the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous of the America need to be striving and seeking for. The unity of Yasharallah, all right? Of our true biblical nationality that has been stripping away by these heathens, all right? And they were able to do that and given access to do that because we've been going off for centuries, right? But the Spirit has been moving here lately. The last 50 years, 100% of this true gospel has been coming out, spreading like wildfire from the four winds of the world via internet, okay? Collectively bringing the true unity in the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous, and the speckled bird, okay? But we know, because it's been written in scripture, that only 1/3 of the whole nation of Yasharala will hearken into this truth. And 2/3 of our people will not hearken, no matter how much scripture we show them, no matter how we try to tell them, no matter how we tell them we love them, they're still not going to hearken into this 100% true gospel. And they've been marked by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, and given the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and end it with that. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, and the speckled bird that look like those from those other nations. But their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Shalom, shalom.